Alright, I'll call our meeting to order at 4:41. Mark is on phone with us, so we can say we've got quorum here. So we need to first look over our November 2025 meeting minutes. Even without Mark, so I think we can pass those. This is from November 17th. We discussed playground plans, board approval of me, Christmas event. Any changes anyone sees? I just noted at the end, JJ, that the meeting was originally supposed to be Monday, January 26th, canceled due to the winter storm, and
Okay.
rescheduled for the 23rd. That's the only change I made on my end. Someone make a motion to approve those?
You don't have them?
I think they're full copy, didn't I? They were all,
I'll make a motion to approve.
did you not get a full three?
She did. I just gave it to her.
Alright, second? All in favor? Okay, discussing board terms, like, the mayor mentioned, and I had forgotten, but, since we were formed back in 2021, we came on, each of us at a different, term, so like one year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, but now, anytime you're voted in, you're a 4-year term. So, according to my records, that puts us, and I'll print, I think it's page 30 of your parks plan. I'll print a new copy that, notes these changes, and the only change that should be updated now is, myself. Right now, Sally's would be on, until November 2nd, 2029. Mark would be on until November 2nd of 2028. And Gary is June 17th, 2028, and JJ is February 20th of 2029, and Eliza, February 20th of 2028. So, we're in this for the long haul, folks. Now, all that being said, Mayor, you can correct me if I'm wrong, if you were to choose not to run next term and another mayor came in, this is a mayor appointed Parks Board, so they could clean house at any given time, is that the case? With any appointed board?
Technically, yes.
Technically, yes.
Appointed board could be changed by the mayor.
Okay, alright, so we can get fired, guys, if you wanna fire us, go for it. So, just to kinda go over those, I would, I know you said that we have that kind of stuff lined out in the ordinances. If there was a way we could get a copy of those ordinances, or I know there's a million, but just the ones that, you know, that handle our objectives and what is expected of a board, that would be really great, just because we've never seen those. And I don't think I can find them online. If they're online, I don't know where they are. Okay. Just something that we know that we're always, so in the future, with different leadership, we can say, this is what we know to be true. I would just really like to have it, not to second guess anybody, but just to have it for our records. Old business playground plans. Liz and I have been meeting with Mid-States reps as well as Play Pros, which is a company that has done a lot of work with, schools in the North Lawrence district, and Liz has a connection with, one of their representatives. They are trying to give us a better price than Mid-States, but still offer up some quality design. So this would be up to 4 different representatives or 4 different companies that we worked with. We're still trying to limit that $800,000. The last quote that Mid-States gave us was above that, and we sent it back and said, no, let's try again. There were things that we thought could have been done a little differently. We'll talk more about that in our next meeting. The goal now is to get the crowdfunding campaign website fine-tuned with Vicky. I know there's information she needs from us. I think she sat down with Carly to try to get that squared away. The sooner we can get that up and running. She said we can't have access to it, which is understandable. But that means if you look at a crowdfunding campaign, you see how well designed the website is. Well, that's great, but that can't all be on Vicky, so it's trying to be the creative control and the content control, but do it in a way where we have to hand it off to Vicky. And so that's what we're trying to do, is just make sure that is well kept and updated often, and Carly is the person to handle most of that, other than the numbers portion, which I think Vicky might still be waiting on from us. So I need to talk to Carly and see what Vicky still needs answers to after her meeting the other day. We'll discuss at the playground meeting if the city is able to provide any funds toward the playground, or if the campaign is a total ask from grants and the community. I know that's something that's up for discussion, after a meeting that you've had with people.
Financial advisors
Yeah.
said that if there was any direct city money involved, that because the playground's an asset, that we should do a study first of the playground and see if there was any possibility that it could be repaired and brought up to safe condition, usable condition, prolong the life. That was their recommendation, is our financial advisors, that we do that first.
Okay. So when they
said
say
we
a.
almost have to do that if we ask for any grants or using city money.
Okay.
Oh, you have to do that if you're asking for grants too.
If we do, the city asks for grants. If we apply for it, then we have to show, well, why do you need this grant if you've already got a playground and you could fix it for, I'm just gonna throw a number out there, $100,000 and make it great. Why are you asking to tear it down and then asking us for?
So when you say bringing in a consultant, who are you thinking? I mean, what does that look like?
Well,
Paying some-
mostly, well, the city would end up paying that part of it,
Right.
just to have it evaluated. It's no different than we did with the downtown building. We would bring
So, do you have a lead on, did they give you a lead on anybody to do that, or is it playground company, or is it, who are you asking to do that? I mean, what kind of company
Well,
does
it's
that?
kind of a composite. It would be somebody engineering background, but that has done playgrounds before.
So where does that put us in our, moving forward with any of our design work or fundraising?
Fundraising, keep right on going. Because it's just like that match, the 50,000 match. I mean, I'm sure you read the terms on there. It says if we don't reach our goal, we still, as long as we get to whatever the match is, we can keep it and use it on the playground in any manner we want to. If we can't reach the ultimate goal, then we can still use the rest of it.
So if Parks Board is applying for, grant,
We're not a
is
nonprofit.
that still going to fall under the city, so therefore it needs to have, technically it would still fall under city, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no other way you could apply for it without.
Yeah, we're not a 501c3
You're not
or
set up separate.
registered nonprofit, so.
And as far as ARA, I talked to them, of course, they had 2 grant writers and they had lots of customers. And right now they're still working on our grant for the building downtown, which we were supposed to know in February. And then they told me last week when I talked to them, now we're pushed back to March.
Do you
And
have
they-
a contract with them though? I mean, they
Oh,
have to
yes,
provide
we
a certain
contract.
amount of
Mhm. Yeah, we contract with
services
them,
for you for
and,
per year.
They will, they've already said, we will look at it, said, but we, one grant at a time per community. So we find out if we get this grant, now we hope first week or 2 of March, if, regardless whether it's yes or no, they said, we'll start looking for recreational type grants.
Yeah, that is the one thing among our committee, is we don't have somebody that can do that in addition to everything else they're doing. It's a
Well,
full-time job,
It
and
is
it's
a
a lot.
full-time job.
Yeah. I know you don't have anybody on staff either, so, but it's just, that's what it is, it's a whole new thing. Okay. well, we just kinda need to be in the loop on that, I guess, and would like to be in the loop. We've got a lot of information. We've heard from each of those 4 representatives, and they all could tell you why keeping any existing material or trying to match it with any other existing material would void the warranty of their product. Also, that port in place, fully accessible playground is kinda out the window if we do that. I mean, outside of maybe the swings, and cause pouring around existing equipment might be a little more labor intensive. I'm not even sure some of these companies
Well,
would.
part of it
quote
had
us.
to be kept, the port in place could go in the new area,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't be able to go in the old area.
Yeah, we would have
I
to
think
not
you
call
have
it a
to put them
fully
like side
inclusive.
by side.
Yeah, so that wouldn't kind of nix our fully inclusive, which is, fine, but, I'd be interested to see what they might say could be salvaged. I feel like that ship sailed, but at the same time, if it has to be officially done, then we'll do whatever it takes to sign off and
And
make
it
sure we.
doesn't, unless we can raise the entire amount of
Right.
funds,
We're
through the
Well, for
budget.
the grants, obviously.
We're not using grants and we're just getting private donations.
Yeah, after
I
that.
really can't imagine that being the case. I think that we're gonna have to go after
I can't
the
either.
grants, so. Okay, thank you for that update. All committees have met and will report tonight. They've met since our last meeting in November. On the Christmas event, we've got attached a sheet. I wrote not sure what we profited, but then I went back and found Vicky's spreadsheet. So even though we didn't have any vendors, or food vendors, craft vendors or food vendors from our cookie fees and our other donations, after expenses, we still, profited $765. So that was good. And that might actually be, I did let BedFed know that we'd never received a check, and the Vice President that I spoke to was not happy. He said, we did commit to that. I said, well, it's not a big deal. It's like, it is a big deal. If we committed to that and we received the recognition for it, then you should have that $1,000. So that very well could be, I'd rather just tack it on as the big ask that I've given them for the playground, but at the same time, we just need to make sure that might be $1,765, we'll see, but, moving forward, from that, one thing that I did forget to mention was the money that the Community Foundation gave us in 2025, I'm sorry, for our impact grant, for a pool shade. We're trying to get that squared away. I've reached back out to the guy again. He acted like he didn't know it was gonna be on concrete, which I don't know why, because he's the same guy that I've worked with before, and he never asked me about installation, a foundation and where the installation would take place. So I didn't know I needed to give him that information. Plus, it's a pool deck, so I don't know what he thought it was gonna be. But anyway, it was kinda, you could tell it was kind of a flop on his part. Now he's trying to go back, and he did actually match the pricing, cause I said, okay, we didn't get you paid, we had the money, but I didn't get you paid before the end of the year, can you still match the pricing for 2026? And he did that, and now he's probably regretting that, cause he's trying to figure out if the contractor's gonna be able to, do that extra installation piece. But I'd like to think we'd get the same contractor, but that was 7 years ago, so they might have somebody else that they use. Either way, I did assure him that plumbing was not an issue in that space south of the slide. I didn't figure it would be, as there's no plumbing on that end. But hopefully we can get that installed before May, but I'm still waiting to hear back as to what that would look like. Otherwise, wouldn't be out any money outside of maybe freight. I'll have to look and see what they promised us. But I'm not applying for an impact grant this year, because I feel like it's a little, I don't have time to write another grant. So if we're writing any more grants from here on out, we're going to be writing them for the playground. Plans for New Year, we need to do a parks inventory in April. That ideally, just making sure that all the components of our park here as well as over there are taken care of. I know in the past we've included the Unity Park as well as the Orchard Street Park, just to make sure that if there's something that we can help them do, whether that's the Legion or, Hoosier Uplands, and whatever we're doing in the way of maintaining, if there's something that, you know, they're not seeing or that needs to be done. I think some of that equipment at Orchard Street is well beyond its, you know, but it's not ours, so we can't really do much with it. But I feel like if somebody gets hurt on that one slide, it's very old. But once again, not our thing. But either way, the two parks of ours we need to do, and just an inventory on those, just to make sure that there's nothing outside of what we know that needs to be replaced or fixed, hasn't snuck up on us. Plan to be a part of the time capsule extraction. That's the time capsule that's at the flagpole in front of the pool. It was set to be, you said spring or May of 2026.
Says on it, May of 2026.
Yeah.
but
So
I
that
think-
class wants to do a festival time
Right.
project.
I
Okay,
think more of their classmates will be home that week,
that makes sense.
so they wanna wait till that Friday before
So-
the parade and do it.
Is that still something, I know Warren mentioned that being a part of the 250th celebration, but they're gonna be incorporated in that too,
Well,
or?
I think we'll consider that part of the 250th, yeah.
Okay, why not? Throw it in there, it's already a part of the plan, okay. Don't even have to plan it. Okay, so we wanna be part of that just because it's in the park, even though it wasn't ours, but we can use that as an opportunity to, we could even maybe promote our 5K or something, a couple days before that. So that's the Friday, the 25th, is that right? Okay, so then the 26th would be 5K. We'll see, we might not give too much of that. JJ says, we'll have our hands full. We're not doing that. We'll just show up and be like, thanks for coming to the park. Okay.
They show up Saturday morning, come
Yeah.
Saturday morning.
Let's see here. Our next scheduled meeting would be March 16th. That is the week of spring break. So in normal fashion, we have moved that to March 23rd. Just so happens that Bedford and Mitchell spring breaks are not the same this year. So their week is actually the second week, but that doesn't affect anybody in the room, I don't think so. Spring break affect you?
Yes, I'll be gone,
Okay.
but I'll also be gone on the 23rd.
Oh, well, that's just helpful. Okay. Does anybody else have a say on what we do there? Mayor, you got big spring break plans?
For spring break, but
Not the 23rd?
not the 23rd.
All right, so we'll just go for the 23rd then. I think that will work best because I figured there'll be more people on our playground committee that won't have a conflict as well. So it'd be best we just move both meetings to that date. And we'll get by without JJ, maybe. Okay, our next meeting, we'll go over these two plans as well as hear from each of our committees. And lots of details there, so. Does anybody wanna make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Eliza.
I'll second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Mark.
All right, thank you.
What time is it?